10's Late News with Jessica Rowe.
Tonight, the Philippines disaster, Australians among the dead in a fiery jet crash. A warm Aussie welcome for our Timor heroes. And the Olympic anthem, it's the official song for the Sydney Games.
When you carry the flame.
Good evening. First tonight, an Australian family of 4 among the victims of a Philippines jet crash. All on board were killed when the airliner dived into a jungle.
All 131 passengers and crew were killed when the domestic flight slammed into a coconut plantation on Samal Island and burst into flames. The plane was packed with Easter holiday makers, including Victorian man Martin Hall, his wife Louisa, and their 2 young daughters, Irene and Gabriella.
They were travelling on board the Air Philippines flight from Manila to Davao City at the time of the crash.
The family lives in the Philippines, where Martin teaches at the International School in Manila. Relatives in his hometown of Minion in South Gippsland have been told of the crash. So too were family members waiting at Davao Airport, distraught when they were told of the fate of their loved ones.
The crash happened as the aircraft was making its approach to Davao. There are some reports that the pilot was reporting difficulties with visibility. That's obviously a matter for the Filipino authorities to investigate.
Investigators have begun the gruesome task of recovering and identifying bodies. Relatives are being flown in to help speed up the process. Departmental officials in Canberra say they're now confident no other Australians were on board the fatal flight, which is now recognised as the Philippines' worst air disaster. An official from the Australian Embassy will travel to the crash site tomorrow. Sue Fitzpatrick, 10 News.
The future of New South Wales fuel supplies hangs in the balance tonight. Caltex, the biggest petrol supplier in the state, is shutting down its Kurnell refinery in Sydney tonight after workers gave notice they'll strike indefinitely in support of fatter pay packets. Bowsers will run out within a week and supplies for jet aircraft will run out within days. The matter's going to the Arbitration Commission in the morning as the company tries to stop the walkout. A cyclone is bearing down on Broome tonight in Australia's northwest. Rosita is a Category 4 cyclone with 260 km/h winds. Rescue teams are on standby to help residents and hundreds of tourists who've packed into the West Australian resort town for Easter. The official welcome home for our East Timor heroes with a ticker tape parade in Sydney. It was a chance for thousands to show their gratitude to our newest Anzacs.
They've already taken their bravest steps. Today, it was their proudest. Sydney's heart was bursting with gratitude as we officially welcomed home the Australian men and women who brought peace to East Timor.
I'm very proud. It's lovely to see so many people here showing their support to everyone.
Something to treasure for life, I think, certainly.
And thousands lined city streets to salute our latest heroes.
It's like good to see all the people marching and stuff.
The emotion today running as high as when they first left our shores in late September. Just 157 days later, their mission complete. Peace returned to the troubled region and without one Australian life lost. There are still Australian peacekeepers serving in East Timor, but other marches are planned for around the country on Anzac Day. This parade not just for heroes of the 2-legged variety, Zach and his military dog mates winning a rousing applause. The city brought to a lunchtime standstill as more than 2,000 interfed troops heard the Prime Minister pass on a nation's thanks.
For the remarkable job that they did in bringing peace, stability and freedom to the people of East Timor.
And the honour not lost on our newest returned soldiers, described as our newest Anzacs.
We are hugely honoured to tread where soldiers and returning police over these many decades have trod before us.
Alison Blanksby, 10 News.
A landslide vote by NRMA members has approved floating its insurance arm and it could be listed on the stock exchange by July. But the big endorsement didn't stop the critics at today's special meeting.
The NRMA's journey to this point has been littered with legal defeat, boardroom battles and membership fury. Now the greatest victory yet for those seeking to demutualise the organisation's insurance arm. more than 82% of those who voted agreeing, well above the 75% required.
It's overwhelming and unequivocal. Anyone who tries to stop them and their will is being undemocratic and un-Australian.
Listing Australia's biggest general insurer on the stock market is now closer than ever, but the opponents didn't go down without a fight.
I think the whole issue of the demutualisation has been the powerful, the big end of town, the people that wanted self-interest to rule, to actually be able to push it.
Some taking it very personally indeed.
This is one of the great betrayals ever done in this country.
Others accused Mr Whitlam of railroading the process, one, though, honest about his reasons for saying yes.
I'm speaking for the motion because we're going to get a lot of money and we can use it.
The NRMA's road service will remain a mutual organisation. Shares in the insurance arm could be worth around $3 each. This vote, however, is not a foregone conclusion. Today's process still needs to be approved by the New South Wales Supreme Court, and that's almost certainly not going to be the only legal hurdle. Two separate challengers are expected to argue the information memorandum sent to members was misleading.
A room full of lawyers had trouble in coming to grips with this document. How can the average member?
This process has now taken 2 years and cost the NRMA $61 million. Eddie Meyer, 10 News.
And the NRMA decision could not have come at a more volatile time. Wall Street's rollercoaster ride pushed prices back up overnight to where they were before Friday's free fall. Our market followed the trend with gains in media, banking and technology shares, although many investors are still worried about interest rates and fear high-tech stocks are overpriced. The local share market continued its cautious recovery. The All Ordinaries gained 56 points. News Corp soared 99 cents, Telstra gained 20 and BHP 39. Among the banks, the NAB gained 32, the Commonwealth 28 and Westpac 20. The Aussie dollar is fetching 59.71 US cents, 37.81 pence, 62.57 yen and 63.07 euro cents. Gold is trading at $281 US per ounce. In London, the FT100 is 78 points stronger in early trade. Hong Kong's Hang Seng gained 148 points today. Tokyo's Nikkei 117. Now a song you're going to hear often in coming months. Today saw the worldwide launch of the anthem for the Sydney Olympics.
It seems fairly obvious, include Olympic athletes in the Olympic song, but this is the first time it's been done. Past champion Murray Rowe and present hopeful Matt Shirvington feature in the video clip. And here it is, your first chance to hear Carry the Flame.
You never let nothing hold you down when you carry the flame. Carry the flame.
I'm hoping that, this song will unite all Australians, towards focusing on the positives.
It's the first single from the Olympic album featuring Christine Arnoux, Wendy Matthews and Taxi Ride. Swimmer Grant Hackett plays the drums. Kathy Freeman even belts out a song. But Matt Shirvington revealed he faked it.
I was just briefly on the clip and I wasn't actually singing, I was miming.
Murray Rowe wasn't.
No, I probably wouldn't have had the courage to do that if my son hadn't been involved.
John Stevens reckons this song can go to #1.
I've been around a lot longer than pop stars.
Carry the Flame will be released on May the 1st, 9 days before the Olympic flame is lit in Greece and begins its journey to Australia. The album will be available from early June.
Mark Gibson, 10 News.
And ahead in the late news, violent home invaders storm an elderly woman's home. Also, lives in the balance, wild weather sparks a dramatic rescue. And a star is born. She's a virtual anchor on the internet.
He's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but out of necessity.
It's for the woman who only has 4/5 of a second to get ready.
He's made a mother of an invention.
Oh, Mom, you've got it set on whore.
The Simpsons, Thursday, followed by Unreal TV.
3 hours on this train and I can't hold on any longer. I'm just going to have to brave it.
Oh, shit, man! What we have to do? This is what I have to do to get to the toilet! Oh, no!
Show Harvey Norman, your electrical specialist, for great value deals like these. The Breville Superwiz Duo food processor is a low $169 after $30 cash back. The Tefal 1600-watt Ultra Glide 50 iron comes with a bonus non-stick fry pan for $69. The new Elise 2400-watt wok from Sunbeam features a Teflon Platinum non-stick surface for just $149. And this Breville Breadmaster Big Loaf Bread Maker is great value at $199.
Ruchi Restaurant, renowned for authentic South Indian cuisine and the tantalising taste of tandoori, is celebrating winning the Restaurant and Catering Award for Excellence in the category Specialty Indian Award. As highest point scorer, Ruchi was chosen to represent the ACT in the National Awards for Excellence Specialty category. Dine in, takeaway or home delivery. Ruchi Restaurant's traditional Indian home cooking is simply delicious. And now it's been voted the best.
Fire crews have been battling a big blaze in a Sydney factory tonight. The flames were so intense that 9 trucks rushed to the building at Marrickville in Sydney's inner west. A workshop area on the ground floor and a top floor office were gutted. The factory owner arrived at the scene and was so shocked he needed medical treatment. The cause of the fire is not known. A great-grandmother is recovering after being tied up and left unconscious during a vicious robbery. She's now living in terror, afraid to go home.
Just moments after being released from the Monash Medical Centre, Annie Dabadi finds it in her heart to forgive the man whose actions have reduced her to tears.
As a Christian, I had to forgive everyone, as long as it doesn't start it again on another one, because it's too painful.
The great-grandmother was asleep when around 1 this morning the robber broke into her Casey Court home. Standing at the foot of her bed, he made demands for money. Did he make any threats?
No. They said, my son's money, he said.
He then placed a T-shirt over Mrs. Dabadi's head, forced her to lie face down on the floor, then tied the pensioner's hands behind her back.
Well, they've got to be sick, crazy, tie up a 76-year-old woman.
The burglar ransacked every room in the house, even turning over beds in his hunt for cash. Mrs. Dabadi spent 4 hours tied up in her bedroom but was able to free herself before alerting a neighbour across the road. And while the 76-year-old carries no physical scars, the emotional hurt has already begun to surface. Mrs. Dabadi now too traumatised to return home.
I don't want to go there, I'm too scared.
The robber escaped with just a few cartons of cigarettes.
That's very low, picking up an old woman. I'm still in shock.
Darren Lunny, 10 News.
A chilling warning to Zimbabwe's embattled white farmers. President Robert Mugabe says they're the enemy. It followed the murder of a second farmer after a 3-hour gun battle ignored by police.
An isolated farmhouse, another deadly attack. 43-year-old Martin Olds desperately phoned his mother, who tried to get help.
I phoned the police 4 times, and not a damn thing was done.
That left Olds on his own to fight off the mob for 3 hours before Molotov cocktails set fire to his home, forcing him into the open into a hail of bullets. Police are accused of doing nothing. The fire brigade arrived 8 hours late. Another widow mourns.
Very strong man. He was our rock, not only in our family, but in the farming community as a whole.
The attack cast a shadow on Zimbabwe's 20th anniversary of independence. President Mugabe's set-piece speech sounded conciliatory.
And sporadic clashes in which 2 lives have regrettably been lost.
But minutes later, during an interview, this blunt warning to the farmers.
You are now our enemies because you really have behaved as enemies of Zimbabwe, that we are full of anger.
The streets of the capital were subdued, most independence celebrations cancelled. Former Mugabe supporters now openly hostile.
So he must go now.
Everything's a little bit scary and people are feeling very anxious.
Anxiety increasing with reports of a possible coup from within the government. Mugabe seen as isolated as he's left the white farmers. Andrew Bell, 10 News.
A heart-stopping rescue after savage storms raged around Los Angeles. A helicopter crew went to the aid of two teenagers swept along a stormwater channel by the floodwaters. It was moving along at 40 kilometres an hour after heavy rain. There was also widespread damage to mobile home parks and suburbs. Now to a story no newsreader should be asked to present. The news presenter of the future has been unveiled, a virtual reality wonder called Anna Nova.
I can't tell you how much I've looked forward to this moment. I've been locked in the room for 12 months with nothing but geeks and techies for company.
Anna Nova displays the personality her creators hope will captivate 21st century news consumers.
It's important that Anna Nova becomes someone who you warm to and who you trust.
This morning I'm keeping a close watch on the London stock market.
The age, 28, the gender, the features, and the mid-Atlantic accent, all carefully calculated to make all kinds of men and women want to access her. What turns her on? Text. Anna Nova's computer scans incoming stories and orders up syllables and inflection, lest she smile at a sad story.
Well, as the producers press that button, it then embeds into the text some emotions and some actions associated with that information that they've given them.
This may be a smile or a virtual gas pain, but Anna Nova's a work in progress.
Every day I feel slightly more human.
But what kind of people will want to bond with an electronic puppet? Busy people, they say.
She actually helps you cut through the clutter of the internet.
But liking and trust?
These are things that you just can't program in. People have to use Anna Nova and get to know her and then start to build a relationship with her.
Oh, I'm sure it won't catch on. A new survey claims Australians have exceptionally smelly feet. Neglect and slack hygiene leave many of us on the nose.
For shoe fitters, it's an occupational hazard.
Close to their feet fitting their shoes at times, so yeah, occasionally you get the odd whiff.
And who'd work in a Queensland shoe shop? The first Newspoll survey of its kind finds banana benders have the smelliest feet in the country. The more pleasant smelling plates of meat are found in the cooler climates of Victoria and Tasmania.
How bad are they?
Other people have to leave the room.
Although more often than not, the work boots of blue-collar workers are beaten hands down in the smell stakes by women. Nylon pantyhose are to blame. The survey also suggests the more you earn, the more likely it is your feet stink. But why?
Heat, moisture and dead skin cells hanging around the feet.
While smelly feet can be hereditary, podiatrists insist it's your sole that really counts. The sole of your shoe, that is. Leather instead of synthetic-soled shoes and cotton socks are what the professionals recommend.
It's important that you air your shoes and rotate them. Don't wear the same pair of shoes 2 days in a row.
A scrub and a spray might also help, but at the end of the day, podiatrists say most of us just don't spend enough time caring for our feet. Darren Roberts, 10 News.
And when the late news continues, the nation's top cats go on show. Also, pop star pandemonium in Perth. And in sports tonight, more players named in cricket's betting scandal.
The fame. It was a very, very dark period of my life.
The exploitation.
It was hard. I mean, there was a lot of tears.
It's a tough life.
And the heartache.
It took me a decade and a half to come on and get happy.
The Partridge Family Story premieres 8:30 Thursday.
Reduce the drag. That's the idea behind Mach 3. Less drag means less irritation. DMC Comfort Edge blades are streamlined for less drag. With Mach 3, there's far less irritation. Mach 3 from Gillette.
You'll find everything you need for Easter projects at Bunnings Warehouse. All at the lowest prices every day. Like 12-rail clothes era, $11.90. 3-tier pine shelf, $19.98. Bosch 450-watt impact drill, $97. 4-litre Dulux X10 weather shield, $44.70. Trade line entry set, $10.55 each. And if you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
The Burning Log Megastore, Canberra's home of natural gas log fires. Natural gas fireplaces have realistic flame patterns that will warm you for hours on cold winter nights. Discover the new generation natural gas log fires at the Burning Log Megastore.
unbelievable offer. For the first time, get $500 cash back plus 24 months interest free. It's unbelievable but true. $500 cash back plus 24 months interest free only from Jeff Manny on all Fujitsu, Mitsubishi, Daiya and Sharp split system and ducted system heat pumps. Unbelievable $200 cash back plus 24 months interest free on all private gas ducted systems. Up to $150 cash back plus 12 months interest free on all Rinnai heaters. Up to $100 cash back on all electric heaters and blankets. Only at Jeff Manny, the Heating King.
A bizarre event that happened live on TV in Melbourne last night has led to an apology from administrators of Melbourne's Colonial Stadium. A security guard stepped in to prevent Network 10 journalist Gerard Whateley reporting on the stadium's troubles, to the amazement of everyone watching.
Heavyweights from Colonial Stadium spent most of yesterday trying to iron out its teething problems, only to find themselves yet again embroiled in another public relations disaster. But this time it was live to air.
You can believe this, Quarters. The two issues which have been resolved here today are the best seats in the house will now be sold first by Ticketmaster, and St Kilda will be asked to address their ticketing issues. Quarters, I can't believe this. We're going to have to go.
Keep going. I can't believe he's doing this.
We are hoping the clubs will leave happier here today. That was Ian Collins' suggestion, and I suppose the whole issue is that we are better for the fans.
Why is he, Jared? Why is he kicking you? Why is he kicking you out?
Apparently, we have been here all afternoon, Quarters, and we have been guarded by security guards on level 3 all day, and we're now being thrown off here.
The Chubb security guard was unaware 10 News had gained permission to do the cross from the ground. Shortly afterwards, Colonial Chief Ian Collins apologised for the security guard's over-enthusiasm.
You know, it's very unfortunate, and we just apologise. And I don't often apologise, but I do apologise for his actions. Obviously, he acted outside his brief.
The AFL says it's just an unfortunate incident.
Well, I'm surprised. I mean, I wasn't there. I was at a meeting upstairs, but as I understand it, the TV journalist stuck rigidly to his duties as he was being escorted by a security guy to go somewhere else.
As for the security guard, his future may be unknown, but at least he's had his 15 minutes of fame. Raquel Stevens, 10 News.
Wild scenes in Perth with 10,000 screaming fans in a crush for a glimpse of pop group Bardot. 60 fans were treated as the situation got out of hand.
2,000 predicted, more than 10,000 crammed into Karrinyup Shopping Centre.
Medics outside Massive Kelly's with oxygen.
Medical teams pushed through.
60 plus. 60 plus. Yeah. All over what? Faintings, that sort of thing? Fainting, lack of rehydration during the night from staying up late.
I hurt my leg and I couldn't breathe properly.
I've had a panic attack myself and couldn't get out. I can't find my kids.
The real crush came when the band hit the stage at 11:45. Many had been standing for hours.
I must admit, towards the end, when they got up on stage and that all the exits coming through, trying to get around this area were blocked.
Obviously so popular. Wouldn't outside have been better? Possibly, but we weren't to know exactly how many people were going to turn up here. You know, I didn't bring my crystal ball with me.
Shops barricaded themselves in during the height of the show. Some bewildered shoppers caught unawares.
I'm just here to shop.
You're just here to shop?
Shop, that's all I can't get through.
But a combination of medics, police, event organisers managed to ensure there were no serious injuries. The 60 overcome most collapse from the heat and the crowd. For the thousands of teenage girls, though, today was something they'd waited for weeks. Tony Dean, 10 News.
Frisky felines were in the spotlight at Sydney's Royal Easter Show today for Pat a Cat Day. It was the public's chance to show off their magnificent moggies. Most of the cute kitties lapped up the attention, while others tried their hardest to get in on the action. Some of these pampered pets had their owners in tow. Others opted for a bird's eye view. After all that action, feline fatigue kicked in, making a little catnap compulsory. And still to come in the late news, the National Weather Report, and then at Sports Tonight with our own top cat, Matthew White.
Not even going there, Jessica. Tonight, Shane Warne denies double standards on cricket's betting scandal. We preview the Anzac Games in AFL and League, and Troy Corser, Superbike champion, at home on the farm.
It's a mystery as old as mankind.
These creatures have survived for 15,000 years.
I want to see it. And it's a monster of a legend. Ted Danson stars in Loch Ness. 8:30 Friday on 10.
If you win Thursday night's $9 million Powerball jackpot, you could spend every minute of every hour of every day of every year for the rest of your life.
I wouldn't risk my life, so why risk yours or your family's? At ACT Brake Service, we don't just stop there. Here at ACT Brake Service Mitchell, we can inspect your vehicle while you wait. Relax, have a cup of tea, coffee or a cold drink on us. And it doesn't just stop there. We repair not only brakes, but clutches and drive shafts too. And still, it doesn't just stop there.
ACT Brake Service, Phillip, Belconnen, Mitchell and Braddon.
Girls, throw away your old hard shoes and get ready to stretch. It's a whole new look, a whole new feel. Bets and Bets, we've got your stretch shoes.
Polytank are having a massive tank sale. You'll save on domestic and agricultural tanks from 1,000 to 10,000 gallons. Save on your new Polytank, but hurry, it's for 1 week only. Only Polytank gives you the hygienic white lining. Minimal base preparation. A one-piece tank. No joins means no insects. Polytank strength that is plain to see and free delivery to most areas.
Original brand Polytank.
On sale now. Your first choice for quality water. Polytank. Clearly the best.
I can't imagine getting as far as I have without the support of my family and friends. So what chance do thousands of street children have? They're homeless and alienated. But there is one group they can turn to round the clock. Open Families people are on the street, working tirelessly to show these children they belong. But they need your help. If you can assist in any way, I urge you to call this number. With a bit of effort, you can make a big difference.
And time now for the national weather. And the latest satellite picture shows Tropical Cyclone Rosita gaining strength off WA, extending plenty of cloud across the mainland. Tomorrow we can expect a high pressure system over northern New South Wales, a cold front over Victoria and another high south of the Bight. Looking ahead, fine tomorrow in Cairns, Townsville and Brisbane. The chance of an early shower in Sydney. Fine for Canberra. Showers in Melbourne, Hobart and Adelaide. A fine day in Perth, a shower or storm for Darwin and rain periods in Alice Springs. And that brings you up to date with the latest news. We'll have more news on 10 as it happens. I'm Jessica Rowe from the Late News team. Good night.